Hi everyone, my name is Becky Hom, and I'm going to tell you how my family ended up at the financial bottom. That's just the bottom. It's very painful to fall down when you were all the way at the very top. We were rich to the point of disgust. Then one day, everything was taken from us. My folks and I lived in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. For social media buffs, it's a paradise for beautiful shots, backgrounds, and whatnot. I grew up among the elite youth and thought it was ordinary. Like, well, can you live any other way? My mom never cleaned or cooked in her life because she and my dad originally married rich. After they got married, the two richest families created an empire and multiplied the family capital 1,000,000 times over. For my 15th birthday, I was given 2 high-rise apartment complexes, each with penthouses on top. These 2 buildings were then mine, and I received money from all the landlords into my account, from which I could take as much as I wanted as pocket money. One building was donated by my father and the other by my mother. The business thrived for years. Dad had 100,000 people in his employment, and the most expensive places in our town seemed cheap to me. I had appropriate friends, all high rollers. We loved to drive around the city at night. Money gave me a sense of self-confidence, and I thought my friends were the best. Lisa and Lucy were twins. They were a little less rich than we were. We raced together all the time, went to boarding school, and attended only private parties. Admittedly, it's only now that I realize how awful we behaved with other people. I remember once the girls and I went to a spa in one of my complexes, and there was an incident there. Already at the entrance, the receptionist came up to me. Apparently, this woman was new and did not know me by sight, and I could not afford to have this happen in front of my friends. I thought it was humiliating. "Hello, lovely ladies, how can I help you?" "Ladies? And who are you?" "I'm the administrator." "You work here and you don't know the owner by sight? Who hired you anyway?" The girls behind me giggled. "Here we are. Lisa and I are known to everyone, even at Grandpa's work. Becky, you're a bad hostess." I got so mad. I looked at the admin lady and told her to get us organized quickly at the spa and kick all the visitors out of there. My wish is law. I said this proudly, and we went to the elevator. When we got there, another woman was standing there, closer to older age. She was a cleaning lady, holding rags and buckets of dirty water. Lisa said she was going to be sick at the sight, so I told the cleaner to get out of the elevator quickly. "I need to go to the 14th floor." "I didn't ask what floor you need to get to. Get out." "You have a very rude upbringing." "What did you say? Do you know who I am?" "I don't care who you are. I have a granddaughter your age, and I don't let her talk to elders like that." "One word from me and you'll be fired." The cleaning lady froze. She never came out, came with us to the 16th floor, and went out to the spa. "I see you don't care about your job." The woman put the buckets and rags on the floor, straightened up, and said, "And you don't value what you have." "You're fired, okay? I don't need this kind of rude staff." Finally, I kicked her bucket, and water spilled all over the floor. "Clean up after yourself." I didn't know at the time that this old lady's daughter also worked in the building. She was the office manager or something. While the girls and I were relaxing at the spa, the old lady was cleaning up, and then all of a sudden, the ambulance took her away. Turns out she had a bad heart condition. Anyway, she died. I don't know if it was my fault, but they said that she was very nervous because she might lose her job. My parents didn't say anything. On the contrary, they said that such behavior was unacceptable from my employees. My family in general was, how should I put it, even rougher than me. My father and mother did not consider people of lower rank as people. In cafes and restaurants, they always behaved like that, thinking they were gods. My mother was a 100% bitch, and my father was a jerk, but people worked for them because they got paid well. We never had our own traditions in the family. Everyone went about their business. No one cared about each other. I was well aware of my parents' lapses to the left, and I think they knew about each other's too. We were pretty tough people. Everyone told us that, but we didn't care. That's probably why we made it to even greater heights. So, our family business, our unshakable empire, collapsed one day. It was all over the news. We went bankrupt overnight. Dozens of criminal cases were filed, even against our dogs. It was a crazy month. Every day we were losing millions, and there was nothing we could do about it. My dad and mom fought all the time. I cried. I was abandoned by my friends. They said they would not be friends with a poor person. After another month, we finally lost everything. Every cent was taken from us. The only property that was registered by my grandmother was a small apartment, and we lived there for a while, but then it was confiscated as well as all the other properties. Everything was seized. It was terrible. It seemed to me at the time that this was the end. There was no more life to live. We moved to another city in a decrepit old car. My mother and I sold all our brand-name clothes, shoes, and handbags to earn money for the first time, slept in cheap, smelly motels, and ate fast food. Finally, my dad managed to find some work in a local sales office, and my mom never got over the idea that she had to work for someone else and stayed home. We were barely able to make ends meet. All of Dad's attempts to go back to work failed. His enemies grew stronger, and his friends turned him away. We were left all alone. Mom was so depressed for the first 6 months, and then I went to a regular school under a different name, and after another 6 months, we even got used to this new life, and we gave it a chance. One day on my day off, my mom woke me up, and she was so happy. "You look happy. It's the first time I've seen you like this." "I just got a good night's sleep. You know, poverty has its perks." "Like, you get more sleep, you don't get nervous about money, about loss, because there is nothing to lose, right?" "Is everything okay, Mom?" "I'm fine. Honey, why don't we go out tonight? It's your day off." "Yeah, okay. We've never gone out all together before." This was the first time we'd spent time as a family, eating cheap junk food at the beach and laughing. Turns out there are things you can do for free. Right? The air, the mood. Yep, and also a great view of the ocean. It turns out we didn't notice a lot of things before. I was surprised at how much my parents had changed for the better. We now had new habits of our own. We spent every weekend together, watched movies on TV, learned to save money and be happy. I liked this new family, and even the loss of $1 billion did not upset me because we gained more. Mom and Dad agreed with that too, but then one day there was a news item on TV about our former company, and they showed the new CEO of my former complexes. Dad recognized her. "That's the daughter of the cleaning lady who died." "What? Are you serious?" And I was shocked, and then I felt bad. "Dad, you said that someone from the office made a specific tip on your business. Someone who had access to the database?" "What's your point?" "She thinks I killed her mother, and now she's becoming CEO. Coincidence?" Dad took off and went somewhere. We had a new hope to get it all back. He and Mom were investigating thoroughly, having already studied the cases up close and personal. And then Mom got a job at these complexes as a janitor under a false name and started watching Kate. That was her name. Mom managed to clean her private office more often over time, and one day, Kate was sitting at her desk drinking whiskey. She didn't recognize my mother. "How nice. You look very nice. You're very beautiful." "Oh, thank you. You must work hard to be such an important person." "Yes, it's true. I could have only dreamed of this chair before." Mom saw that Kate was already pretty out of it because of the alcohol and spun her into a conversation. Kate talked about her mother, whose picture was hanging on the wall, and then she said that revenge is a powerful weapon. "What do you mean?" "I'm just getting revenge on a trashy girl for killing my mother, taking everything from her. She and her parents, just like they robbed me of everything I had. My mother." "And how did you manage to pull that off?" And Kate told her cunning plan. She thought it all out, in collusion with the whole collegium that hated my father, our rivals. That was Lisa and Lucy's father. With their help, she achieved her goal. That was our trump card. And after that conversation, Kate fell asleep in her chair, and my mom went to my father with a secretly recorded video. We used the last of our money to hire lawyers and sent everything to the press. The fuss about our business started again. Within 6 months, my father and mother recovered their entire fortune, and several people were put behind bars, including Kate. A year later, everything was restored in full, but with poverty came happiness. My parents drowned in work again, and I was left alone. I became so lonely and sad. I tried to get through to my parents, but they wouldn't listen. Then I wrote them a goodbye message. It took them 2 minutes to get home. They were scared. They thought I had done something to myself. I didn't mean to. I was just drawing attention. And then I told them what I was worried about. My dad and Mom finally listened to me, and they promised me that they would fix the situation, and they kept their word. Dad hired more workers to free himself up, and Mom got off on the weekends. We bought the apartment we lived in during poverty and started going there. It was near the beach and became our symbol, a family heirloom. My family and I realized that the ordeal that we went through helped us realize a lot. And by the way, we began to treat people with more respect too, not like we used to.